Hi, my name is Yashoda Parthasarathi. I am a motion design director and visual effects supervisor at Plexus Motion. So today we are going to be reacting to The Last of Us title sequence. If you didn't know this before, The Last of Us is a critically acclaimed game created by Naughty Dog, which is an American video game design company. The game released sometime around 2013 on PlayStation and became a major hit. And the title sequence that we are going to be reacting to today is from the HBO adapted version of the series with the same name. So let's get right into it. Wow, that is such an understated piece of art. What I really love about the title sequence is that mostly, even as a title sequence designer myself, we are tempted to put everything that's awesome and epic and wonderful about the show within the title sequence. Conceptually, that's where the sequence stands out the most for me, because the sequence sets up the story so well. Everything else that you need to experience is there in the show, so you have to watch the show. Alright, now let's get into the visual storytelling of the title sequence. If you look at the sequence, it starts with this very mutated looking fungus which sort of creeps into the cityscape. What I also really like is how they have showcased cityscapes or buildings in these fungal growth that is happening. Now this fungal looking growth starts spreading to all the other cities. That right there is the map of United States of America. And that map right there was something that I missed myself for at least the first 5 times that I'd seen the sequence. And you see how dangerous and gruesome it can really get. You can see the fungus growing and sort of becoming the nose of this person who's dead and fully infected, but yet the highlight right behind the nose gives you an idea of how gruesome the infection was and what happened to human beings. It's scary, but it's also a beautiful image, which is a tough brief to execute for sure. This fungus has now become stronger, it's become more powerful over the decade, and that's how the shape sort of becomes this almost thorny, invasive kind of structure, and you see the structure convoluting around the entire world, leading to a shot which depicts this beautiful arrival of 2 human looking shapes, a man and a teenager. And that's how the sequence bookends. It started with the fungus spreading and it continues all the way to the end, even during the logo animation. If you see the video at the Max YouTube channel, you can also see the graph of where the maximum viewership for this video has been, and if you notice, it is at the title animation. What is brilliant about the logo animation is that the logo and the font is exactly like the game, so everybody knows it. That's one thing that they haven't changed about the brand, which is very important. Let's talk about the technique by which they've beautifully executed the concept. If you notice how the camera has been placed in the sequence, you're very close to the ground surface all the time, which is brilliant because unlike virus or bacteria, fungal growth is usually on a surface. So this strategic placement of camera to mimic that has really helped enhance the concept. Another thing I really love is the lensing of the entire sequence. They have given a very macro feel to it using shallow depth of field. If you look at the bokeh, then it is stretched vertically and not circular, which also gives it a very anamorphic feel. Not only does this complement the scale, but it also looks very beautiful. The next thing I want to talk about is the lighting. All the elements in the sequence are backlit, which you notice both in the city-wide shot as well as the last shot. Throughout the sequence, there is a lot of rim lighting and subsurface scattering that are used to highlight the gross and slimy look of the fungus. This shot, in which the highlights almost look golden, is supposed to represent the satellite view of the cities, which I think is very clever. The lighting portrays the grim world very well, except in the last shot, which looks almost hopeful. And this is essentially where the magic of the lighting works. If you look at the shot closely, then you see this almost sunrise-esque lighting behind the figure which silhouettes them, but it also gives you a sense of hope, because maybe despite how terrible the past has been for the human species, when these two arrive and fight their way through, maybe there'll be some sort of hope. And that is what you're left with at the end of the sequence, which is kind of beautiful. What I also really love about the sequence is that there is a lot of greens. Unlike The Walking Dead or other zombie apocalypse kind of shows, the world of The Last of Us is very green. It's lush, it's got a lot of vegetation, and even the fungus has a certain look because of how it's in that moldy green, yellow kind of a color palette. That's been encapsulated in the sequence very well. I also love the red blooming flower, and that's a very key visual motive that is also there in the show. This sequence has been produced by Elastic, which is a motion design studio based in California. I have been following their work for many years now, and I was not surprised when I came to know that they created this title sequence as well. Both Andy Hall and Nadia Tsuo, the creative directors of the sequence, took painstaking efforts to study and achieve the organic growth patterns of the fungus right. This must have been a technical beast to conquer as a challenge. They said in an interview that the design is based on their research into real-world fungi species. The rich variety and the motion from nature provided great inspiration for their team to naturally outline the story while staying in a realistic environment throughout the journey. During my research, I found that the project was produced in Cinema 4D with a combination of Houdini simulations to achieve specific growth motions and patterns. SideFX Houdini is a software known for its kick-ass simulations and is used by most studios to create very organic and natural-looking elements. For example, water splashes, fire, smoke, and in this case, the growth of the fungus. Another thing that really ties in well the grounded nature of the show, of the sequence, is the music. The theme music was originally composed by Gustavo Santaolalla. He won Academy Awards for Best Original Score in 2 consecutive years, first for Brokeback Mountain and then Babel. If you notice, the music does not use any orchestral elaborate sounds. It's mainly guitar strums and percussions from the guitar, which also kind of makes it very real and casual, and that adds a lot more to the sequence. All in all, this sequence is a 10 on 10 for me because it just covers all the key points that I look forward to in watching a title sequence, which is your concept, execution, art direction, and music, and also the edit. That's it for today, guys. I hope you really enjoyed the video and you also found decoding this title sequence as interesting as I found it to be. If you like this video and you want us to create more of these, then please give this a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and also turn on all your notifications. Also, do let us know if there are any of your favorite title sequence that you want us to react to or decode. That's it for now. I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you in another video. Bye.